All right, YouTube, what's up? It's your boy, Jaymma here. I'm back with another one. Y'all see what we're doing? We're doing Roundtable, episode 5. Yes, 5. 5. We got the usual Fantastic Four, Kingjuice, Pressi, TMA Pressi, and we got my boy S.V. So I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Y'all already know who they is, but just for the general audience, we gotta do this. So
Well,
Pressi, start it off. Oh well, Juice, well,
y-
yeah, go ahead, Juice. Go.
yeah, Mr. MMA, you already introduced us, but yes, I am King Juice. I am your reigning Esports Boxing Club champion, and I know what you're thinking. The game's not out. How is that possible? Don't worry about it. Next.
All the way from the UK. My name is TMA Prezi. You lot already know I'll be streaming on Twitch and started my YouTube grind lately because of ESBC. And we're back with another one. Looking forward to the subjects today. And yeah, let's get the show on the road, champs.
And y'all already know who it is. It's your boy S.V. Hee-ha! Need not to worry. I'm back here with another John.
Yes, sir. We're back here with another John. And hold on. We got a special treat for y'all now. All right, ladies and gents. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. It's him. Now, when I don't want to drop a tear now, but when we started this, never would have thought we would have had a man of this stature. He doesn't need an introduction, but I'm gonna give one anyway. Y'all know who it is, man. It's him. It's Boxing Fanatico. You know what I'm saying? It's him. I'm gonna let him, introduce himself to y'all. I just wanted to, I wanted to give him the proper entrance. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him take it away.
Thank you so much for that, Jay. I appreciate that. You guys have been doing fantastic with this. So I wanted to jump on this and have a guest appearance for sure. My name is Edward from Boxing Fanatico. To a wider extent, I talk about boxing. When you cut like a layer deeper than that, I talk primarily about boxing video games. And then obviously one more layer below that, I talk more about Esports Boxing Club. But yeah, let's go ahead and have
Get
this
into
conversation,
it.
have this round table.
All right, let's get right into it. Today we're gonna be talking about a whole lot of things: ESBC updates, boxing in general, ESBC in general. So let's just get right into it. The first thing that we're gonna jump into is not necessarily the update, but something very interesting that they said the other day. They alluded to that you're not gonna be getting any more updates, and I know in the last roundtable, episode 4 or 3, we kind of were talking about Juice primarily. He was real heavy on this that you don't need any more updates. They had, I think that was the June update when we got a bunch of filler. We were talking about how we didn't need that. We don't want to have the obligation to keep doing it if it's not really fulfilling information about the game. Juice, I know you have very strong opinions on this, so I'm gonna let you give your thoughts.
Yeah, I want to say besides the Career Hub information, that was actually one of the best things I heard because it's one of those things where now they can just put all their efforts into the game fully. And I feel like we're now kind of at the home stretch to where like the end of the year for actual release date, because I am more leaning for no early access anymore and them actually releasing the game this year. So I'm kind of leaning on that December release date thing now. So that was definitely good news for me to hear.
Right. And if Pressy, like you got it. I know you're the articulate, the guy that's the smart one. I know you got some deep analysis, man. What you think?
Well, I already shared my opinion on two round tables ago when Juice specifically even asked me what, he said, would you remember when you asked me, is there any points to the updates and, and so forth? And I basically said in a nutshell, in some sort of form, no, because again, touching back on what you said, it's got to be something of substance. It's got to be getting closer to launch date, whether that's beta, whether that's full release. However, at the same time, it's cool. It was cool what they're doing with the little things like, oh, today we put a take an 8 count in the game, and if you're rocked, it can take, you get that window to throw one big bomb and knock the other person out that's rocked. It's cool in the sense where they're doing things that other people haven't done before, where other companies don't keep you updated on these little kind of micro kind of things that they're putting into the game or around the community. It's cool to know, but we already know you're not going to keep everyone happy. There's always going to be people that are not happy with what they're hearing, and there's going to be people that just want a release date. So for me personally, I'm still wearing my patient boots. I'm not, I rather have a close to perfect game rather than a rush game. So however long it takes, I'm not too worried. As long as we get that game that we're all hyped up for, that's what's most important. So for me personally, these little micro updates is cool in some way, but it's just that date. We need a date. So I'm happy for them to just focus their energy, focus everything into getting the nitty gritty done, into getting this product out there. So 100% agree with you, Juice.
Yeah. Fanatico, I know you're real. I wouldn't say real heavy on it, but you're kind of like, you real deep into the ESBC game. Like, do you feel like the updates are unnecessary at this point now that they said they're not gonna be, saying we're not giving out any more false release dates or anything like that?
I mean, I think that this was the natural progression of that game or that company. It got to a point where what they were saying was literally like, hey, we're still doing the thing that you want us to do. And it was like, okay, cool. I'm glad that, you're still doing that thing. But is it gonna be beneficial for them to just keep telling us that? At one point it would have gotten so dry that there may have been a backlash if they kept doing it that way. So I think that them not doing it is them also showing that they're evolving and they're moving away from indie company. They say they're an indie company, but I think at this point, with all of the money that they have behind them, with the team that they're building, the constant growth, I don't think that they're an indie company at all. And those kind of things are like little cute indie company things. I think they're moving on from that and just becoming like full blown AAA. And we're going to benefit in the end because patience, like a Pressi said, patience is a virtue. And if we wait for the best possible game, then we're going to get the best possible game. If we just push them to make just get it out. Cause I just want to fulfill my urge to play a boxing game. We're going to get a subpar or a suboptimal game. So I think that let them work. If they put the blinders on and just work and we don't hear anything from them, that's fine. If there's something of substance to tell us, then tell us. And I think that how they got everything going now with Rax, the global communications manager there, I think they're moving towards that. Like if there's something that's of substance, they're just going to drop it. They're not going to really tell us. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to prepare us. They're just going to go, boom, here, we just got this new fighter, or boom, here, we just got this new trailer. I think that they're moving towards that direction, and they want to remove speculation and people guessing and thinking and trying to create their special algorithms for what they think is going to happen next when they say one little thing, oh, coming soon, or all those kind of things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think they're moving away from that, and they're evolving into a full-blown AAA company, in my opinion. And I think that makes sense with moving away from the updates, monthly updates.
Right, and Dot, I know you actually dropped a video on this matter. Have your thoughts changed, since then, or how you feeling about it?
Man, I think that I agree with everything Fanatico said. But as far as me, I think that this being the last update I think it was good that it happened, and I'm glad it happened. And I think that the last update was a lot juicier than a lot of us led on to be like, it wasn't much, but I thought they answered a lot of questions that soon as we saw the gameplay trailer, everybody had all of these questions. You feel me? So I feel like all the questions got answered. The punching, the what else? You know, everything else that they came up with was perfect. I think it was a perfect bye-bye to the updates. You know what I'm saying? So like get up out of here. We've done like Fanatico said, this is AAA status now. All right. We seen them have on bummy sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Can't afford the bummy sneakers. Now we seeing them wearing the Nikes. And now, you know what I'm saying? They got to afford the J's now, but now they even more grown up, and now they gotta wear the loafers. This is where they at right now. They in loafer mode. You feel me? So
Right.
I love it. I love how they do it. That means they hunkering down and it's work time, and they're gonna get this game to us, and it's gonna be a masterpiece.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let's just jump right into the next one, and that's gonna be Career Mode Hub. Now, out of all of the things that they talked about, I feel like the Career Mode Hub was the most interesting in the update. My personal thoughts on the Career Mode Hub, they're talking about how you're gonna be able to train sort of like how in Fight Night Champion, not really the story mode, but like the training games, how you were able to hit the heavy bag, the double in bag, things like that. You're gonna be able to do things like that. You're gonna be able to change the equipment that you're using to train, the equipment that you're using in your corner, things like that. While I do feel that's very in depth, I feel like they kind of left like a lot of questions I still had about career mode. I was real heavy on the last one. I feel like there should be a switch stance stat. I know when we were looking at the career mode stats and everything, they had left hand power, power modifier, things like that. But I was real heavy on a switch stance because Terrence Crawford is in the game. Terrence Crawford, the best switch hitter in boxing. I mean, let's be honest, he is. Switch stance really needs to be in this game because if your right eye is messed up, you're in southpaw. You're gonna have to switch. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait. Yeah, you're gonna have to switch to orthodox, right? I'm already. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, though. I listen. You ain't gotta be perfect. You get what I'm trying to say. But I was really harping on that. I feel like that really should have been in there, but like a lot of questions for me still have not been answered. I feel like they're kind of like leading it on. They don't want to give too much away because they don't want to spoil some surprises. But I I know you're real deep in the the career mode thing. So like as far as the what they gave us in an update, like what do you think? Like did they lead us on too much, or does it sound like they're kind of they're hiding something? Like what you think?
You asking me, right? Just double
Yeah,
check.
no, dot.
Oh, dot. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
dot. Yeah.
say ask me the question again. I'm sorry. I thought you was talking to Fanatico.
I was just saying, like, what, like, nah, you good. Like, what do you think? Because you're like real deep, you're like real harping. Like, other than Poe, I probably say Dot, a Fanatical is probably like real deep in like the career mode. I'm really not. But like,
Yeah,
what are your
absolutely.
thoughts, Dot, as far as like the update? Like, do you think they left a lot of stuff out, or like, are you
Um,
thinking they're like
I think
leaving stuff out to not spoil you anything?
yeah, that's what I think right there. I think they're doing it in a systematic way. You know what I'm saying? So they have to spoon feed us the news. They can't lay their hand fully out like that. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta give us here and there. But if you go to their website, it says a lot in there. And I always go back to reference some things sometimes. So you know what I'm saying? Like they said the career mode, they're trying to bring it to a level that will be new for the genre in career mode. So this tells me that they're trying to dive very, very deep into this career mode, which me, I'm a junkie for this. Like wanting to have control and see how in depth these guys are gonna go with this career mode. They got the story mode that they wanna incorporate some way into it. So I don't know if they're gonna have Olympics. how long you could stay an amateur, things that you're allowed to control. You could create a boxing trainer. You could create a promoter. It's like they're trying to do things that we've never seen in a career mode game. You know what I'm saying? We've been playing these games for a minute now. So
Right.
it's like I think this is about to be one of the deepest career modes that we've ever seen in a sports game.
Yeah.
Also because they're engaging with us directly, the fans. You know what I'm saying? We have never really experienced anything like this in the gaming community where we were this involved with a game. You know what I'm saying? So this is a whole unique
Right.
situation that ESBC is creating. So kudos to them for that.
Right. And Fanatico, like now that it looks like people are starting to come around to the career mode because people like myself were real focused on the online play, but like recently, a lot of people are coming around. It's gonna be the same question for you, but do you think like the career mode can possibly be, I wouldn't say bigger, but just as popular as the online play?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of people out there. For example, Poe doesn't even care about online at all. He only really cares about like the career stuff, the tendencies, the AI tendencies. That's big for him. So I think that there's always going to be a pool of people that care about the career mode and a pool of people that care about online competition. I'm kind of with you in terms of well, I'm actually with you in terms of competitive play. That's my number one thing. So I'm really more excited about the online stuff. But I'm definitely excited about what they can do in the genre of career mode. When looking at the hub and just seeing Arturo Gatti walk around, it was interesting to see the things that were lying around. For example, the tires and stuff. And from my experience with these kind of games that allow you to interact with something over there and interact with something over here, they don't normally place things because they know that will feel kind of like they left it out if you can't interact with it. So are they going to have all of these unique type of training? Like you can do the hammer to the tires or flip the tires or do the little step stuff on the floor. I saw the wrecking ball punching bag all the way in the back. So I don't know how deep they're going to take it with that hub experience, but I think that they could fuse some of those elements into multiplayer. And one of the things that I said early on when it came to this type of walking around hub thing was that this would work so amazingly well if they incorporated it to like a multiplayer hub as well, where you could walk around with your friends.
Yeah.
You could hang in there, go to be like, yo, you want to spar? Let's spar, me and you right now. And like people could be jump roping over there while watching you spar at the same time. You know how like revolutionary that would be. So I think that they have something with this, and if they already have an ability to walk, excuse me, if they already have an ability to walk around in third person like that, they can integrate that somehow with the online. It is possible. Now, I'm not telling them to break the bank and do something crazy. If they can't do it, don't do it. But if they can, this will definitely put because that online experience and that elevates a game. That's why 2K is, even though people complain about 2K is still popular because of stuff like this, that kind of online community hub. That's really what 2K, my player, all that's really just online community hub, just taken to the next level. So I think that they have an opportunity to not have to make it so expansive. Just contain it to the gym. Allow maybe 6 people, whatever it is, that'll work for the servers and everything, and expand what they have on this career mode thing and apply that to an online career mode kind of thing where you have the ability to interact with your friends in that same hub.
Pressi, you got any general just thoughts on a career mode HUD? I really haven't heard you like speak about career mode too much. So like anything you like want to chip in?
Yeah. Firstly, would you when you mentioned the switch and stat stance, I mean, I don't even think that's going to be something to worry about personally. I think 100%. Well, I'm hoping 100% that they are going to do something with the switch stance, whether that lowers your stats or even like Fight Night Champion used to do. Do you remember on OWC? Every attribute you put on your fighter was for each hand, each side kind of thing. So if you switch from lefty to righty, you're carrying, you know, your right hand attributes with you kind of thing. So whether they're going to do something similar to that where the attributes count for each kind of hand, which would probably make sense, or just your attributes dropping, taking a little hit when you switch stance, and maybe with the footwork as well, something, you know, your balance or your speed slows down. I believe that's something that they would and should implement in there. With career mode, my opinion is, I personally, and this is my personal, I don't even believe that they've actually, you know, finished putting, or like still this, I think they're still in development for that, as in deep, got a far way to go, and that's why there's only so much they have shown us or can show us. With all these things, like example with Fanatico said, with the, like, you know, in the go to the park with the 2K thing and bringing that into thing, I believe that's a cool concept and something that they should implement, and maybe something they might do, because I've seen a lot of people bring that up in their Discord as well with, oh, can we meet our friends in the gym for sparring kind of thing. And if they was to do that, I mean, that's pretty cool in the sense where you lot can actually learn a lot more. So instead of someone doing a share play and only one person being able to jump on your console, watch you lot, you've got like a whole 5 people, 6 people watching, get, you know, learning combinations from each other, game plans, learning all these hints and tricks. And I think that's a cool thing to actually put in the game. So I'm very strong with that one, and I hope that is something they implement. But yeah, my analysis on the career mode in general, I think there's still a lot to go in, other than all the game mechanics that they need to, I believe ain't even been implemented or coded into the game. Things like the clinch that we know is going to be there, things like the low blows and that we know is going to be in there. I genuinely believe that these things haven't actually been implemented within the game yet. Because one example would be, or one reason would be, we didn't even see that in the controls. When they showed us the latest gameplay footage, it wasn't even in the controls menu kind of thing. So that just tells me these are things they're gonna still add into the game as time goes on. And yeah.
Can I say
Juice,
something about the my fault? Can I say something about the switch stance? For the switch stance, I think that is one of those like real iffy kind of things, because you can make a stat for it, but that's like, if when you play a game and you switch stance, well, this happens to me. I do feel a little bit more uncomfortable on the other side than I do on my left side. Should we just give that, you know, freedom? Like, I know it'll remove it from the play, from the character, but should we just give that freedom to the player itself, like to the actual person controlling it, to get better at that skill of being on their right side as opposed to being on their left side when they're, you know, when they're orthodox versus southpaw? That's one of those things, like, is iffy. Should there be a stat for that, or should there be something where the person just has to learn it themselves, or just has to get good at being on that side? Because I personally love being orthodox, and it's weird for me. And the character that I'm gonna main, which I know is no surprise to anybody, is Shakur Stevenson. And so I'm gonna have to literally constantly play on that side just to get it, like make it feel like it's on the back of my brain, just the same way it is when I'm orthodox. So I'm wondering, like, basically what my thing is, I don't know if I want it to be a stat or if I just want it to be player like experience and them figuring out how to be effective on the right side. That's just my take on it. On the switch.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
I wanted to get into that switch stance too. With that, like, we probably didn't see a stat because maybe certain fighters just can't do it. If they don't switch in real life, maybe they won't let you switch in the game. But if they do have that stat, in there, I want to, like, because UFC, they have switch stance 80. Like, and me personally, I never understood that. Like, how is he getting nerfed in orthodox when he's a natural southpaw. So I would like to actually be able to see the nerve. And then I guess, yeah, the fighter, the player could determine, okay, well, this ain't worth it. If I want to use this character, I'm going to have to learn how to fight southpaw. So that just my little 2 cents on the switch stance. And then with the career mode, yes, everything everyone has said, the online hub would just do so many good things. I didn't even think about like the whole sparring in the gym and then actually having people in the gym watching and learning. That's dope. And with the career, I think that update, they just wanted to talk about the hub. We still are going to get that career mode trailer, and I feel like that'll be a bit more juicy, and we'll learn more about the career mode. But I'm kind of with you guys. I just want to be online, talk stuff, win, lose, cherry pick, do all that. So
Right.
I just want the career mode. I want the career mode and my character on the career mode. I just want a reason, I guess, to go back to it from online. Let's say I'm just kind of burnt out on online. Let me, 3 months later, go back into career mode and get a new experience or use my creative fighter online. Just I want different type of game modes and different reasons to visit and use my character.
Right.
Oh, and real quick, the switch stance, right? Now imagine, right? Say for instance, we pull up for a sparring session, right? We got a freestyle sparring session. I'm like, yo, Juice, and we could set our own conditions in the sparring, right through online, right through over the net. Look, I ain't gonna throw no punches. I'm gonna focus all on just defense.
Yeah.
You try to knock me out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm gonna be in the left stance the whole time to get better interactively that way as well. I think that would be super, super lit if
That's
we're
nice.
able to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And there's
also,
an application. My fault. There's an application.
No, you good. You good.
There's an application to that because no records are involved. Nobody's losing, points. Nobody's
Right.
losing fights. All of that
Right.
makes sense because you can use it and it's like do whatever you want. No repercussions. So
Right.
it makes sense to apply that as opposed to just being like, oh, let's just get in a match and like let me lose, a fight so that you can I can try to learn something. It makes sense to do it with a sparring session.
And with y'all saying these things now, it's like I was like, man, I really want this in the game. With this being Esports Boxing Club, this has to be in the game now. There's too many benefits for it. It has to be in the game now.
Yeah,
The main
there's a lot of
factor
applications
is
for that.
the main factor is when it comes to inviting each other, like example UFC 4 to practice, you're stumbled with the time limit, and there's no taking off the time off a fight. Whereas sparring, you can do it however many rounds, set your clock, take the clock off, and things like that. I think it's a very, very viable thing to have within the game.
Yeah, imagine
and-
just a sparring session without a clock. You know what I'm saying? Just go and go and go as long as you want.
Right.
Like that happens in sparring. Or
Yep.
just do as many rounds as you want. That happens as well.
But listen to this. Does that affect your how much punishment you can take in your career and further on as like how you got your career? So if you do too many sparring sessions, that's like wars. Will that affect what happens to you when you actually fighting guys online and fighting guys in your career, things of that nature?
I mean, I think that would be realistic, but I think that they need to have a reason for you to want to do the sparring sessions without any like reservations. You know what I mean? And use it to its full extent to learn. But if like you wanted to be super hyper real, that would make sense. But I think that because it's still gamified a little bit, they should kind of lean towards letting that be a safe space for you to learn as much as you want and not have to worry too much about it.
Agreed.
Right, and I just wanted to say something that I don't know if in 2K you're really not able, like when someone's practicing or something, they're really not able to hear you. They're only able to hear the game audio. Would that be like a feature that y'all would want? Like it's esports, so there are gonna be camps. Like it's just it's gonna happen. So like if someone's sparring, like say someone that's on outside of the ring, they're spewing out, information like juice, like keep that, keep popping the jab, something like that, just to like give
Oh,
insight.
okay.
You know how like
Okay.
real
Yeah.
sparring sessions are, like people give advice and stuff. I think
Mm.
that'll be interesting. And I mean not Juice, Dot said exactly what I was gonna say. Should there be some type of attribute upgrade to sparring, some type of benefit, or is it just we're just sparring just to get better? Is it like
That
some
de-
type of attribute upgrade?
I think that should depend on what style of sparring you pick. If you pick the freestyle sparring where it's just open and you're just trying to literally just get better, it should be that. But if you're doing, maybe it should be an option for the sparring sessions. Like, you could do freestyle sparring, defense sparring, punching sparring, whatever.
And also I want to add too with this, right? Because this hub, right, it'll be mainly career, but I also want to be able to take Sean Porter and his herky jerky awkward style, and I want to be able to bring him in the hub and get used to using Sean Porter, which wouldn't affect my online. I mean, not my online, but my career mode fighter anyway.
I
Nice.
think that they should just let you do, if they're gonna let you do the hub and do career mode, do it just like offline where you can pick a fighter, whatever fighter you want, and use that for your career, or just have a hub that's completely separated and isolated from career, and you could just go ahead and use anybody you want in that hub. I think that's how they should do it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's nice to hear everybody thoughts on career mode. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. But let's get into this real small thing. It's not kind of a problem, but it's kind of like something that I do not want in a game. And we could talk about this other thing too. Camera angles and then like the shakiness and flashes. Camera angles, I feel like I mean, in my opinion, I do feel like there should be certain camera angles. You should be able to pick the style of camera angle you want. Some people like the field of view to be everything. They want to see the crowd, they want to see the ring, they want to see everything. Some
Yeah.
people like it up close and personal. Some people like the broadcast style of camera angle. I feel like that's real interesting. But what I want to talk about, I mean, we can talk about the camera angles too, but what I want to harp on is the shakes and flashes, that type of thing. And Fanatical, I know you've been playing that fight night. Reese, you've been playing it heavy.
Yeah.
In Fight Night Champion, there's sort of like a visual cue of when you counter, of when you have someone hurt. And we were talking about this in the last one. That should be really up to the player in a way to be able to read if someone's hurt.
Yeah.
If you hit him with a good body shot and now he's wincing, you should be able to, see that. Not I shouldn't be able to have a flash on my screen that gives me the visual cue of, he's hurt.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, not only on the camera angles, but like the visual cues and flashes as well?
Well, I'm the type of person that I play optimally at all times. So I basically zoom it out. I take all flashes off and everything, but that's just for me to make sure that there's no distractions for myself and I could just focus at the task at hand. But I did take off the flashes on Fight Night Champion and I pulled it back, and I still can tell when I hit somebody with a counter. Like I can still feel it somehow. I think maybe the sound or something, but I can tell. So I don't think that you need those things, but I can see how people want those kind of things, and it makes them feel excited and entertained by what they're doing on screen. But I definitely know that they can turn it off, and it is not hard to know what's happening when that's turned off. And like I said, I'm one of those people that turn all those things off anyway. So, but yeah, that's my opinion. They could take it off, and people will still be able to figure out what's going on.
Juice, what's your thoughts on the whole camera angle thing?
So with that, I agree with everything. Like in boxing, right? There's a lot of tough people, a lot of people that don't, that'll be hurt in like us from maybe from the outside. We can't tell, but that person like in the ring can tell whether they curl up from a body shot a little bit, they hear like a grunt from the body shot, or their legs straighten up, whatever. There's always going to be a visual cue in the ring that, oh, I just landed a good shot. So I definitely feel like online in the ranked mode, that should definitely kind of just be a default. I'm just more so on that sim heavy instead of babying people. And also with the camera angle, me personally, and it's crazy. I replied to their tweet, ESBC's tweet. I want like it was an over the top thing. I was like a helicopter / like, you know, a high point of view,
ETA.
right? Yeah, a high point of view, something wacky, right? But like that was just me kind of one. I didn't think they would even notice it and read it, but they did, and I was like, yeah, just for like a challenge or something. So I want like a whole bunch of different wacky camera angles online. I'm not going to use those, but I could find some use for those in offline and make videos from it. Also with the whole flashes and things like that. Again, that would kind of maybe make it a little bit more cinematic, I guess, and more engaging for a viewer per se. And also Fanatico, I didn't know necessarily what to call that camera view, but in his video, the pay-per-view feel where it's zoomed out, and then once that bell rings, it just zooms in. That's the career mode default for me if that's in there, because that's just going to make the videos go wild. But yeah, I'm pretty much cool. I feel like all of us pretty much are more on the sim or online ranked mode, so we're probably all gonna say, yeah, turn them flashes off. So
yeah. But Percy, what do you think?
I totally agree. My main thing is as long as it's literally just visuals and nothing that has any impact on the gameplay or how the game kind of plays out, or the actual system and mechanics, I'm fine. There's definitely gonna hopefully be options there. Turn things off, leave this on, turn it off, and same with the camera angles. Bring it wider, bring it closer into the point where you can see the waist up, or you want to see from the feet, the whole ring kind of thing. For me, it's just visuals. In Fight Night, I used to turn them off. In UFC 4, it didn't bother me. I've left everything on default. Just to make my main point is, as long as it doesn't actually change anything or give anyone some sort of advantage. Yeah, I understand when Fanatico was saying earlier, you could, the flashes and things like that, you rather just focus on the punching and don't let animations kind of, change anything or anything like that. My main point is just as long as the gameplay is the same, it doesn't bother me.
Juice, you got. Yeah, I know you ready. I sound like you ready to dissect it. You got something to say?
I already you died. Oh,
Nah, me. Well, the camera angles. I think that look, I was fine with the camera angle that they had. I just wanted to see the whole person, right? The flashing and all of that, I always take it off, no matter what. Me, when I play simulation games, I don't want to see nothing. I don't even want to see the time. Understand? If I had the option to take the time off, I want to just play like that. I don't want to see no names. I know which fighter I am. Even when I play 2K, I take all that off. I don't need to know that, that's number 23. That's LeBron James. No, I know my players. I know my personnel. I know who's who. That's it. I know I'm a boxing fan. There's 3-minute rounds. I got 3 minutes. If I'm getting tired, I'm doing something too much, I want to see the effects happening to me. And that's just that. You know what I'm saying? When I punch you in the gut, it's like you said, it's different from, you could see me grunt. You could see me fold deeper or some shit like that. But plus the camera angles, I'm not. Give me the broadcast camera angle. Give me the angle where you can see your whole fighter. That angle that Fanatico's talking about, where you can see the whole. I'm good. I ain't tripping on no camera angle like that, because I know they're gonna fix that shit right on up, and I'm gonna be ready for smoke.
All right. And just one more thing I really want to touch on as far as ESBC. And someone asked me this in my stream. And I feel like this was a really not particular question, but it was like a real it's a question that makes you think. I don't know. I know Pressy and Juice are like well, not well in, but like they know about the UFC 4 community as far as the esports thing. And I hate to keep bringing up the game because I really don't want to, but it's like I have to because it's like what other recent combat sports game do we really have to compare it to?
Mhm.
The esports side of not the esports side of it, but like as far as ESBC listening to our output, someone asked me, would you like do you think they're like doing a better job than EA as far as like consumer not awareness, but like consumer feedback? And I think they are,
Yeah.
because yeah, I think they really are because they even asked for our interaction on Twitter as far as the camera angles thing. I feel like they listen to our questions. They spend time, dedication in that ESBC Discord server to answer some of our questions day in and day out. Poe, I'm gonna say it again. Poe made a entire wish list, a whole book. He made a whole encyclopedia for Fight Night Champion. It seems like Fight Night didn't even, we don't care about that. You know what I mean? But someone also said this. I don't know how the ESBC thing is going to work, but I know for UFC 4, there's kind of like a sort of like game changers sort of thing. So like certain people who like have a direct line towards the devs and things like that. For ESBC, the way I've seen it play out for all of the EA games, I won't say I don't want it, but I feel like it's unnecessary to a certain extent because I feel like not to say like game changers don't have like they don't have like a priority over other people, but like I feel like the average player should also have sort of that same not communication, but sort of that same voice, because sometimes the game changers, the devs, they really don't listen to the average consumer because they may not play the game as much. They listen to the game changers. If the game changer says the game is fine, they're not going to change anything. You know what I mean? But the average consumer, the person who's probably playing the game the most, more than a game changer, they may have a little bit more insight, a little bit more to say, and they're not going to get their voice heard because they're not at the top of the list of a priority. If you get
Ye-
what I'm trying to say. So,
So I
Juice, since you look like you ready,
yeah.
like, what's your thoughts on it?
So with that too, and with this whole, I don't mind if they do like a game changers program. My thing is, you said about the average consumer, bruh. I'm not. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Once the game comes out, they definitely. I don't want to say just cut people off because that's what got them here, right? Listening to the people. But as far as the way boxing is, everybody's not going to. Everybody doesn't watch boxing like that, you know. Everybody in that Discord doesn't watch boxing like that, so they're gonna have opinions on things based off of Fight Night or based off of some Rocky movie or something, right? And so me personally, I know they're in close contact, with Fanatico. I know they're in close contact with Poe. And I don't know if it seems like they may be in close contact with Coach's Corner. For me personally, those three guys, I trust their knowledge. Like me and Fanatical don't agree, especially on Terrence Crawford. But I know, like, I can see where he's coming from with everything that he's saying, right? And I can respect, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, right? So with those three guys and their knowledge, if they were to kind of, when the game comes out, kind of tunnel it down to maybe focusing on what they're saying, I'm fine with that, right? I'm fine with that. I just want the best game possible. And I know that those three have that knowledge too. So I fully, like, I'm cool with just kind of falling back with that, right? But again, I don't necessarily think they're going to do that because they know they're listening to people and it's helping them out with their game. So I don't see them doing that. But if they were, I'm cool with it. So I'm fine either way.
And Pressy, I know you I won't say in the same boat as me, but you can like see where I'm kind of coming from with it because you're as deep as me, probably even more deeper. Pause. So, like, what do you think about this whole thing?
You mentioned about the general public's feedback and things like that. Well, to be honest, with other companies, for example, like EA, that's what they do with the beta. So the beta, they would just ship it out to if you someone that had FIFA or something like that, or UFC on the previous version, and had over a certain amount of hours of gameplay on it, then they will just randomly start shipping emails left, right, and center to give you a code for a beta to play for is however long, right? And then within that email, they even send you a link at the bottom for the EA forums for that beta, and this is for the general public, right? Your average consumer. Um, that you put in feedback, and there would be a lot of people active in the forums, whether they're game changers, a handful of them, and the majority of it is your average consumer giving on the feedback. It's just down to how much they really take on board. Like they did make the facilities there, they did put the facilities there, they do give the beta codes out for your average consumer or your general public to play. It's just about taking the feedback on board. To be honest, that's what it comes down to. With regards to a game changer program for ESBC, um, I do feel, because at the end of the day, you can't take in too many voices at once. That's when things will start get confusing. Oh, 20% say this, 30% say that, 40% say. At the end of the day, when you can rely on a pillar of game changers that understand the sweet science, that have the passion for the sport, that understand whether it be a little bit of coding or just mechanics in general, and know how much hard work it will take for tweaking, where they don't make ridiculous kind of requests of the game need changing, where things that are realistic. Then yeah, I believe a game changer program would be ideal. And that's the way. And there have to be people that are genuinely listen to the rest of the community, rather than trying to bring out their own personal interests within the game.
Yeah.
Right, Dot, you just got any general just like thoughts on the whole game changer aspect of ESBC?
I'm not too familiar with the game changing stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning all of that with
Right.
you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the ones that's
Right.
putting me on to all of this right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just listening right now. But far as EA doing a better job with their fans, and ESBC doing better than EA with their fans and all of that, I 100% agree, but I just don't think that ESBC is going to be able to keep this up this way. You know what I'm saying? As they get bigger. So I don't want people to be feeling butthurt when they stop hearing things and people stop talking to you as frequent. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, oh, F them now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because, you know what I'm saying? They ain't answer you like how, because they bread is getting up. Like I said before, they ain't they loafers now. You know what I'm saying? So it's business. It's about chicken. It's a lot of money on the line. People are investing and they're looking for a comeback. People ain't playing with their mills. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a serious thing. So we just need to fall back, listen to guys like Juice was saying, Fanatico, Coach's Corner. Those are my go-to channels when it came to anything about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm comfortable like that as we get into the community as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning from all of you guys, new shit. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So I'm chilling.
And fanatical as far as the game, if they approached you with that idea or something towards that stature, like what would be like your general, like just like overall mindset behind that?
Well, I mean, just like Dot said, because I'm not into the MMA gaming community, so I
Right.
never even knew about this game change. This is literally the first time I'm hearing about this, so I never knew about it at all. But now you kind of broke it down pretty well, Jay. So I think if I was ever approached with this, obviously, I would definitely be accepting to take that on. But for sure, it will be with taking in the community's input, and also communicating between whoever the other game changers are, to come to a decision. It would never be like something where I'll just use that as a a way to make sure I get all my features in. It would definitely be something where I incorporate community feedback to my decision. But my thing is that I'm always gonna lean towards simulation. So you're always gonna get that from me, but I do have an open mind in terms of a game. I know a game needs to be a game at the end of the day, and there's certain things that have to be sacrificed so that gaming experience is enjoyable. So I would always that's my mindset. I'm always like leaning towards simulation, but with the understanding of what's realistic and what will destroy a game or make a game continue to be enjoyable.
Right, right. And Pressi, I just want to ask you this because you're into it like me. Do you? I don't want to like bash on anyone because I don't like doing that as much as I heart. Y'all know I'm very vocal about UFC 4 and things like that. I don't want to like seem like I'm disrespecting anybody because I don't. Listen. We may have different opinions, but I don't want to disrespect anyone. As far as like a game changer wise, there are some game changers who don't even play the game anymore. You know what I mean? Like UFC 4, like some of them don't even play the game. Some of them casually play the game, and it's kind of like, what was the point of having this if y'all don't care anymore? Because if they trusted those certain people to care about the game, to give them feedback, like what was the point of even doing this? Now if they don't care, now you kind of like lost that base of the whole thing. So like Pressy, like say, I won't say for instance, but if they ever like do a game changer thing, what would be like a different system that you would like recommend? As far
Okay.
as like different from EA.
Okay, to be honest now, I know quite a few of the game changers for UFC 4. And I can like honestly tell you, yeah, it's not the game changers. It's like there's only so much you've given a role, there's only so much you can do with it. So yeah, I understand you're right. Some of them don't play the game as much. Some of them did kind of, park the game aside or shelve the game. But there's only so much they can do because they're there to feed developers the information. They're there to feed them with the feedback, with what needs changing, with what they can't physically change the game. So believe you me, because I speak to them as well. They relay all the feedback onto the developers. Like that's all been done. Their job, their side of what they're supposed to do has been done. It's the other side, the people that physically need to start coding, that need to start changing mechanics. It's in their hands, and what they choose to do with it is what they choose to do with it. So I can honestly tell you that's the truth when it does come to the game changers on that side. What could be done differently with putting game changers in esports boxing clubs is having the right developers. In a nutshell, is having the right developers, because we already spoke about having a good lineup, pillars of game changers, people that will take on board, put personal interests aside, like Fanatico said, make sacrifices for the better good of a good boxing game, making it fun and playable and clean for everyone, kind of thing, in a sense where it does take skill level to reach a certain ceiling in the game, and not just pushing a certain amount of buttons in a certain order that will get you somewhere, kind of thing. We always want people to be rewarded for the skill gap, for implementing their thoughts and their IQ in games, which is something that we're lacking for a long time. And I want to touch on this back at the end when we're done with the subject. So there's something that I spoke about the other day. But yeah, with regards to your questions, those are my two answers. So it's not really the game changers, it's the people they leave the feedback with. And again, with the game changers for ESBC, the right game changers, the right people for you, people that will genuinely hear the community, and it's in the developers' hands at the end of the day. I did want to talk about, and this is for all of us. 'Cause I made a video on this the other day, and I think it can play a major factor in the game because we've all talking about having fun, simulation as well. That Fanatico mentioned and Juice mentioned that. I think even Jay, I think us lot are very strong when it comes to simulation. So I want to ask you lot, right? What's your opinions on? And this is like a two-part question on the semi-auto block and the manual block because I made a video on this literally last night. Do you lot believe?
Excellent video, by the way.
Appreciate you. Do you lot believe that the semi-auto block should have its pros and cons, and the manual block have its pros and cons to give people a reason to use them? Now, my analysis on this was, and you lot can give me your opinions, right? I believe that if you're someone that has the option to go on online ranked and pick whatever block you want, then a pro for the auto block should be semi-auto block, right? If you block high, it should do what it says on Tim, block most of the shots coming high. If you block low, same thing, vice versa, right? However, I believe a con that they should add to this, and you lot let me know if you agree or not, is the fact that you're not using the manual block to use any lateral movement and things to catch shots or parry shots and things like that, is that you shouldn't get rewarded an extra window of frames to throw a swift counter and maybe deal more damage, as if you was to use the manual block, that would be your pro. So if I was to use the manual block and use the angles and catch shots, I would get an advantage over someone that uses the auto block to throw a counter or get that extra frame in to throw a swift counter that would deal you more damage. And with the con being for the manual block is if I was to mistime something or go at the wrong angle, use with the auto block would deal me that extra damage for making a wrong move. Because I feel strongly about this. Why? Is if something like this is not implemented in the game, people be sitting there thinking, well, what the hell was the point to use the manual block? And it will just become irrelevant. What do you not reckon?
I literally voiced that concern. I saw your video, by the way. It was a really good video. I literally voiced that concern during the live commentary of the trailer being announced for the first time. And Aimbot was in there, one of the developers, for those who don't know. And I told them, I'm like, oh, so what happens when you do that manual blocking? And he's like, oh, nothing right now. So I was like, okay. But at that point I was like, if there is no reason for it to use it, there's no reason that anybody would pick it. Because if I can just, let me go up, and now all I have to think about is up and down, while somebody else has to think about left, right, up, middle, center, left, right, down. Like, why would I break my brain and go crazy against somebody who's able to just go up and down and only have to focus on that? But as time passed by and I kept looking at it, I feel like one good way to kind of tackle that is where, and I see what you're saying with the frames. That's a smart way to do it. I didn't even think about that. But I'm thinking that if you do the up down block, you don't get guaranteed defense. You get like semi guaranteed defense. You're using the semi system, you get semi guaranteed. So by that I mean you have an 80% chance maybe of blocking certain things. Like the AI can 80% like maybe go this way and block some stuff, but some things are going to get through because you don't have that full control, and that person's just going to do whatever they want on an 80% clip. I think that's kind of good. When you're manual, you have full control. So if you read that guy well, you're going to be like bat and move out the way. You're going to know what that person is doing. If he's one dimensional and he's just throwing whatever. And the beauty of this is straight right spammers might exist against somebody who's doing that 80% thing, because they'll get through 20% of the time. But to somebody who's like, oh, you want a straight right spam, I got you, and then they're just blocking that side, you already know, like, nah, I already know this dude is a spammer. I already have this side down packed or whatever. So or this side, whatever. And so basically I think that's another way to tackle it, if you don't want to give any type of like frames or any kind of differences there, you should make it where it's semi protects you. It doesn't fully protect you, but you get the the relaxation of just having to think about going up and down. You just also have the discomfort of knowing that there's 20% chance that somebody could get through and do some damage. I think that's kind of where I would maybe kind of move towards.
Yeah.
But there definitely needs to be, sorry, Juice, there definitely needs to be a difference 100% between manual and semi-automatic, because if there isn't, no one, I'm telling you, no one will pick manual. Me included, because I ain't trying to go, I'm trying to be number one in the world. I'm trying to be top 10 at least, something like that. I'm trying to be competitive. So I'm
automatic disadvantage,
yeah, I'm exactly. It becomes an automatic disadvantage. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just pick automatic and just deal with it because, like, hey, listen, it's the most optimal thing, and I have to be competitive. So
just to add my 2 cents in, I've seen both of y'all's videos, and I watched Fanaticals that came out pretty much right after the trailer, and he had said something, about punching around the guard, and at that point I was kind of like, I'm still gonna use it. I'm just gonna deal with that, and if my opponent's using the 6 point, I'm just gonna, if they don't have it mastered, I still feel like I'm gonna win and get more damage off. But now with the frames, that's kind of a game changer. If they put those two together, now that up down, it's looking very weak. It's looking very weak, and it's at that spot where, okay, now I need to master this 6 point, because my offense and my defense could kind of get affected if I'm using this up down. So I like both those things added in there together.
I hear that. Right. Well, when all of y'all break down and hearing it, I'm just thinking in my head like, damn, it's a lot of work to do still. You know what I'm saying? When you sit here and you talk about these things, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, and I'm just sitting back reflecting like, damn, it's like, I don't think we get how hard of a process this is. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of people that harp on this shit and be like wanting the game to hurry up and come out, and it's just not realistic. Save that energy to buy the game so I could kick your ass. You feel me? So
exactly.
That's just that, man. But yeah, as far as that, man, like, I'm just listening to y'all on this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm just soaking it all up, and I'm learning all of this. So I ain't got too much on that. I'm just listening and vibing off the great ideas that's coming up out of this. So yeah, man.
All right. Me personally, I wouldn't say I don't care, but it's really not that much of a big deal to where it's like I'm like, okay, I wanna do the 6-axis blocking, or I wanna do the manual blocking. My biggest question would be, will we be able to switch mid fight? So like if I see someone jab straight spamming, can I switch my blocking system mid fight? That's really my question.
No.
Let that happen, because if you're gonna go in with auto blocking, that's a thing that you have to like die by your sword. Like, you decided this is what I want. All right, you can't be like mid thing. Oh, he's right spamming me. Oh, now I'm switching up. It's like,
yeah.
Convenient for you. Like, I think, like, if that's the sword you chose, that's the sword you're gonna go in through for the entire 12 rounds, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
It'll move people more to be more simulation and decide, well, there's pros that I want from that manual blocking, so I'm gonna bite the bullet and just learn it. I think it's a way to force people to actually become good at the manual blocking system if they don't allow you to switch mid fight.
Yeah, you can't change your cornerman mid fight. You can't change your fighter mid fight. You chose your game plan. Rock with it.
Otherwise, you're gonna have everyone taking a bloody 8 count and just pausing the game, switching the settings up.
Yeah. I mean, let's just get right into it. Last night, oh man, kind of disappointed. Pacquiao and Ugas. Now we gotta give a round of applause because I thought, Juice thought, Everybody thought that they was gonna get that fight to Pac. I even said, I promise
Yep.
you, that fight goes to a decision. Is going to Pac. And
Yep.
I'm gonna give the judges a round of applause because every judge scorecard was realistic. Everybody had you guys winning, and I can respect that. Now, Pac, my guy, Pac, I love you, man. I love you, but get your gloves. Just take them for me. Just hang them on the back of your door. Just please do that for me. You guys, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna lie. He surprised me. He that jab that he was throwing out there. My goodness, that
Oh
thing
my
was beautiful.
God.
Man,
Oh my
that
The
thing
God.
was
double
like a
jab.
piston. Man, that thing was
Oh
beautiful. And
my
you can
God.
see that was the game because Pacquiao's the faster inside. You know, he likes to get inside. He's a smaller fighter. You can see that you guys and his team was like, heck, nah, bro. We ain't doing that today. You did that to Keith Thurman. I ain't Keith Thurman. I'm a use this jab. And man, it was just a beautiful fight. Pac did kind of come on stronger in the later rounds, but I felt he made it a fight. I'm gonna say that he did make it a fight, but I feel like
Mm-mm.
you
No, he did
guys,
it,
he
man.
kind of
No, he
like,
did it.
I
oh,
think
yeah,
I think I think
oh,
Manny Pacquiao in that fight, like there's a few things that could be said for Manny. Like his legs definitely didn't look like Manny legs. Like he normally in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yep.
He didn't have that. He tried to do it, but it looked wonky. Like he would throw punch the air. Like he was looking real wonky. But I do think that Ugas also exposed Manny even further because that looping right hook, Manny had zero answers for it. And I kept
Oh
thinking,
my
well, Manny should at least lean forward when he's defending, when he's in the full guard. But he wasn't doing that because his hands kind of stay a little bit to the front of his face. And Ugas was like, okay, if you don't change, I'm gonna just whap all night. So I don't know why Manny couldn't adjust or figure out what to do, or maybe it's just that like his defense is really his offense. Like if you think about it, it's always been really his high volume output, his blitz, like blitzing you and angles and all of that. And because Ugas basically took that away from him, I don't know if he just couldn't do more, if it was that his legs wasn't there, or if he just didn't want to adjust and just wanted to fight his fight. I don't know what it was, but kudos, like you said, Jay, to the judges because damn, I really thought they were gonna rob my man Ugas.
What?
And yo, the fact that they didn't, that was beautiful. And and if a lot of people sometimes don't give Ugas a lot of credit, his fight with Sean Porter was not too different from Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. It was kind of
yeah,
like in that
Mhm.
range. You know what I mean? It was kind of that
yeah.
type of fight. Sean Errol got the nod, Ugas didn't, but it was one of those kind of fights. So Ugas is definitely a threat, and I would love to see him fight Terrence Crawford next. I don't know why people keep saying he should fight Errol Spence when Errol Spence got a torn retina. He should just go straight
Yeah.
to Terrence Crawford if he's ready.
Absolute.
Well,
That's
Uh,
the,
with that, man, Ugas, he it's crazy. Nobody like it's just crazy. It's Manny Pacquiao. So whoever's he's in there with, that's not like Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford. We're just not gonna give them their credit. Realistically, yeah, Ugas could have won. We could have been saying Ugas can win this fight, but I don't feel like that was just a general average that like he was going in there and winning that fight. But even with like Pacquiao, and this is crazy. This is kind of how I judge boxing. Of course, in my opinion, I had Ugas winning that fight by even a few more rounds than I had like tweeted out. But with boxing, if there's an A side guy, and let's say like Ugas, he had some efficient rounds where he was efficient with his punches and landing the big shots. But Pacquiao kind of at the end of the round had some little pit pat shots. I'm like, Ugas, and he's not. Ugas isn't throwing back too, so I'm like, oh man, that's a throw up round because I'm just so used to boxing not getting things right. But just to see that scorecard, I was all three of them be kind of just like, yeah, Ugas got this by 4 to 5 rounds, so that was great.
Mhm.
And Pac, man, like that right hand, that right hook that he was throwing, it's one of those things, man. Even though all of them didn't land, the way that those punches had Manny like literally moving, I was just like, oh my God. And Ugas, man, he's a big dude. And this is I'm not Earl's from my state, so I support him. But Ugas versus Earl's a fight. Now, Ugas versus Crawford, I think Crawford could mop him. When Manny was a little bit more active, he was landing, but it just wasn't affecting Ugas, right? Crawford is going to be a different story. While I think Earl is more kind of flat-footed and, I don't know, more textbook, I guess, in a way, I feel like those two are just kind of going to meet in the middle and kind of duke it out. I feel like Crawford's going to do a lot of hitting and not get hit versus somebody like Ugas. So I'm cool with either way, Crawford or Spence, but man, I really wanted either one of those two to kind of put Pacquiao away, and I feel like Pac knows he's done.
That was the heartbreak for me. I'd rather it had been Errol Spence doing that or Terrence Crawford than it being
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Because we all know, even though I'm saying it's gonna be a fight, we all are probably gonna say Earl and Crawford beat him. So the crown was passed to the wrong guy.
Exactly. Give it to
I want to give this shit something serious real quick. The judges, right? We have to put fucking star on these judges, right? We got to talk about this shit because boxing has a serious problem with. Did you hear that commentary? How they tried to sway the people? Did you hear that disgusting display of? It was horrible. It was horrible, and it took Dame Lillard.
Yeah,
Dame Lillard to tweet that Sean Porter put it out there what Dame meant, because they even tried to act like they didn't know what Dame meant, and Sean Porter had to put the emphasis on what Dame Dollar meant. You motherfuckers is biased, goddamn it.
Yo, what's funny was that when they read that tweet from Damian Lillard, they changed the way they were commentating the fight. All of a sudden, Ugas started. I'm like, Dave, you need to be tweeting about fights all the time. Mid-fight, like you need to be.
Oh my God. There needs to be a star put on that shit. Those two goddamn judges.
Yeah, they got it right.
Manny Pacquiao, man. I felt so bad for Manny because Manny's resume. Is it the greatest resume in boxing history? Arguably.
Could be.
It could. I don't know.
He fights everybody.
Is it?
He definitely fights everybody.
Hey,
I don't know.
think of how many different eras Manny was in and was a top fighter in each one.
Yeah.
I mean, he fought Barrera, Morales, Marquez.
That resume is ridiculous.
No joke.
Mosley, Hatton,
Mosley,
Mayweather.
Yeah.
He would have fought bloody Canelo.
Yeah. He do have a crazy resume. He fight everybody.
I just feel like last night was a shadow of him. The shadow of him. What is he? 42, 43 years old. I mean, I feel like, yeah, man, it's been a pleasure watching you. I mean, I don't know if this guy needs the money or not. We don't know what the personal thing is, but man, just hang it up. And it's not hang it up as in your wash, just hang it up. You're a hero to the sport. You've achieved everything that you could have possibly gone out there to achieve. It's like felt like it was like Fanatico saying with the legs and stuff. Usually, Pacquiao's got those massive calves that he's always been strong on his legs. You felt like it was just a slower, just stuck in his shadow, man. I felt like he was stuck in his shadow a bit. And it wasn't like he came in there not to try. He was trying. It's just, when you're trying to just punch out of your skin, like it just felt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I felt like he was stuck in his
shadow, man.
Yeah, my bad, Press. But you just figured him out.
Yeah, and it's like we're human at the end of the day. Some people don't like to, it's a mental thing where in your head, I am Pacquiao, I'm me kind of thing where you'll never, sometimes you feel like you're not past it, but yeah, man, father time, as they say. And it's not like this, he's in a heavyweight division. Heavyweight division, sometimes cool, they go on to 44, 45.
Yeah.
He's in these prime cut divisions where you need to be in your prime at in your young ages and your younger years kind of thing.
Yep.
I mean, man, the guy's a legend. Guy's a legend.
And I heard someone mention Pacquiao fighting. Oh no, you go ahead, Dot. Go ahead, Dot.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, because I wanted the transition. So you had something to say?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
Pac.
with you.
All right. So I just want to talk this one last thing. I heard someone said Pac fights everybody, but I want to talk about a man that particularly does not like fighting everybody. And y'all know where I'm going with this. Mr. El Cinnamon.
Canelo.
Yeah, no. We're going there. We're going there. El Cinnamon. Caleb Plant.
All right.
Yeah.
I got one
Yeah.
question. One question.
Yeah.
All right, listen up, yeah. Cause now Canelo was in a lose-lose situation, right?
Yeah.
You say he's ducking Caleb, okay? Right? But now he's fighting him. I bet you Canelo gonna whoop his ass and be like, but these were the demands. It's like he's lit. Canelo is in a lose-lose situation with you, and I know you're gonna say that. After he whoops on Caleb, it's like you're still not gonna give him credit. I don't know.
Wait, Jay, you think that Canelo's gonna lose to Caleb Plant? That's your thing?
Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah, Caleb Plant about the yeah. Yeah,
Say that,
listen.
I would say that Caleb Plant is definitely going to be like one of his toughest fights since the Gennady Golovkin fight. I would say that, but is Canelo going to lose? I'm not going to say that. No, I think Canelo's going to beat him.
See, this is my thing. A lot of y'all like to forget that Amir Khan was whipping that ass, and that Canelo fight, he was winning his ass. He was winning
till he wasn't.
When you're fighting someone, you know you're gonna catch. And here's a perfect example: Triple G versus Kell Brook. See these guys? When Canelo's fighting Khan, he's not thinking about winning on rounds, right? He knows
true.
Khan can't hurt him. I'm gonna walk through this guy. All right, I'll lose a few rounds to him, then I'll just put him out cold like he did.
That is true.
Same with Triple G and Kell. You know, when you got that opponent, Triple G they're not going in there to win rounds. They're in there to go put on a show and get their guy out in spectacular
fashion. That is true.
And you could probably argue like, Kell Brook won round one, round two. Then my man just took his eye from him and it was time to quit. It was time to just put the towel in. It was the same with Canelo and Khan. Canelo ain't going in there to win a 12-round fight or win on points. He was just looking to walk through the guy, and if you look at the fight back, he was trying to catch him with that right hand from the first bell. So he was just him walking, putting the game plan out there, getting this guy out, going home, getting paid.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, Pressy. See, Caleb Plant, he's an intelligent boxer. He ain't BJS.
He's not at the same weight classes. Khan ain't at that weight, so I'm saying Canelo's going to come in and do that against Caleb.
Right. But see, this is my thing. Oh, I want to get paid the same money if Caleb Plant drops out. Oh wait, I don't want to listen. Stop being Canelo. Stop being a bitch, man. Listen, the man has agreed to every stipulation that you have asked for. Then he talking about going fighting up Bivol. Listen, let's be completely honest here. And listen, I'm not discrediting Canelo's skill, but let's be honest. Let's be real honest with ourselves. Bivol is working Canelo. And like I'm gonna keep it a bill. He's working. Like y'all, listen. All right, listen.
Canelo the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise, because Canelo is a beast, man. He's beating like top. He's in there. He has a crazy resume too, and he's beating top dogs like a Sergey Kovalev. And Sergey Kovalev is a monster. I mean, he
stopped him,
dude, in the ring, and he destroyed him. So to me, I think Canelo. I feel like Canelo has earned the right to be a beast until proven otherwise. In my opinion, is he my favorite fighter? No, but like if we look at his division right now, the top 5 people in the world, Caleb Plant is actually not even number 2. He's number 5. Number 2 is Daniel Jacobs, and then number 3 is Billy Joe Saunders, and Canelo already Canelo already dealt with them. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things to me that when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he's always gonna have that, like, you got to prove to me that you can beat Canelo. And I think Caleb has tools. You know what I mean? He has tools because he's defensive and he's smart and he's slick. And Canelo has shown problems with that in the past. But I thought Billy Joe Saunders was going to give him some work too, and look what Canelo did to him. So I don't know. I think, to me, if I was a better man on this, I would definitely give the nod to Canelo against Caleb Plant.
But check this out, right? Check this out. Canelo mentally defeats fighters before he even gets in the. Listen, you don't understand how far back Canelo beats guys. Okay, before he beats you with the judges, he beats you with the conditions, he beats you with the money, he beats you with the shit talking, because everybody's gonna back Canelo. Whatever Canelo says is gonna be more popular than what you had to say. You know what I'm saying? So he's beating you down. You're gonna be the underdog. You know what I'm saying? So you're defeated. He might weight drain you. You know what I'm saying? So
but he the A side. He the A side.
Right, exactly. He utilizes that to an extreme, in my opinion, like to an extreme. Because what he was trying to demand from Caleb Plant, after already being close to a deal, and then the deal breaks down, and then you're like, well, and the only reason it breaks down is because of some diva mandate. Like it's crazy. He beats you there, and to beat him in the ring is even tougher because body shots, that chin, torso movement, that orbital bone, gone.
Yeah.
Listen, I ain't gonna sit here. I ain't gonna say
got
the
the
man
judges
trash.
most of the time.
Yeah,
They
listen, I
got
ain't
the
saying
judges, bro. They got the judges.
Yeah.
I
I
want
ain't
to.
saying Canelo trash or nothing. I just put that out there. I ain't saying he trash.
Yeah,
But
I
go ahead,
I
Juice.
definitely want to. So with Canelo, like, again, I love watching him. I like, a lot of people just don't appreciate greatness while it's here in front of them, right? They want to wait until they're retired or dead. Canelo is great. He is a great, and I just want to say that. But I kind of turned the switch with this whole Caleb Plant thing, because those contract stipulations towards the end, if Canelo gets hurt or sick or something, Caleb has to weigh while Canelo can have his fight, get paid the same. That, who's besides Team Canelo, who's agreeing to something like that? That's outrageous.
It's a tactic.
A-side.
I that's not, bro. Was Floyd doing any, like, I don't even, that's, I've never heard of nothing like that.
Not like that.
I've never heard of. So with that, I know, and I doubt I'm getting into that. I know it's a power move. Like, just accept this, you punk, so you can get your biggest payday. I'm just like, bro, I want that to stop. I'm not gonna lie. So I do want him to take an L, right? And it's just bound to happen, right? He's after Plant. If he beats Plant, Bivol is another slick guy that's bigger, and can take some punches, right? And then we got that other Russian monster. So it's bound to happen. And he's always fighting. He's always in the gym. It's bound to happen. He's going to catch an L. And I just wanted to kind of come sooner rather than later. So this whole throwing his weight around, because let's be honest, Canelo's not afraid to fight anyone. There may be matchups where he's like, that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one, boo-boo. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, and you're boring, so I don't have to fight you. I'm not scared. I just don't have to fight you. I don't have to deal with that. Let me go up to these big dogs and get some good fights in, and deal with these type of challenges. But I just want him to, that whole contract thing just left a sour taste in my mouth. Because at the end of the day, too, as a boxing fan, I'm thinking, man, they could have been fighting in September. And just in case, hey, people are saying Caleb's going to get washed. If he does get washed, Canelo was talking about coming back in December or something. So me as a boxing fan, I would have loved to have seen him fight 2 more times, but we're not going to get that chance. So it just left the overall bad taste in my mouth. So That's my little 2 cents on it.
Listen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen. Dot know how I feel about Caleb Plant. He said it came with a lot of conditions. You know what I'm saying? It came with a lot of conditions. Listen, I know I know Caleb don't got the power. You know what I'm saying? I know he don't got it, and I know Canelo's like, bruh, you ain't got no power. Your power is my grandma hit harder than you. You know what I'm saying? I know that's what he's thinking. You know, but Caleb, he got the defense, he got the IQ, the slick movement. You know what I'm saying? The footwork. You know, what I'm saying? Listen, I think he got the tools. You know, and
I think he does.
he listen. He gotta listen. He have to win this. So it don't make him look like a bitch. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, he looking like a
does.
real. He look like a bitch right now. I'm
does have
keeping
to
a
do
buck. He have to win this for his sake. Cause he looking like Canelo just punked him. Cause Canelo went up talking about he was gonna fight Bivol, and what Caleb Plant was at? Sitting and waiting. He knew Caleb Plant was not gonna fight nobody else but Canelo. He wasn't taking him
Yeah,
in the
but wasn't
fight.
this when Showtime were making silly demands of trying to get him on a free fight contract deal or something like that?
Exactly.
When at the end of the day, people put spanners in the work, and I believe Showtime tried to capitalize on something where they tried to make get him to fight like a free fight deal, whether that was like trilogy with him or whoever. It's like they tried to capitalize on keeping Canelo underneath their wing for as long as they could. Whereas this guy just wants to fight. He wants to be his own free agent and fight who he wants when he wants.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely. But nah,
Listen,
you right, TME. I mean, Jay. Caleb has the tools, but it's gonna determine how disciplined he is going to have to be. Very disciplined every single
Second
round.
of
Because
the round.
of that lack of power that he cannot hurt Canelo, or maybe he has enough power to make Canelo respect him. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, he has the tools, but I just don't think that he's gonna be able to. I don't think he's gonna be able to be that disciplined for 12 rounds without making any significant mistakes. Because that's all it's gonna take is 1 or 2 mistakes, and it's over for him.
Yeah,
All it's
that's
gonna
true.
take. He's
I ain't
a
got nothing to
body
say about
shot
that, bro.
away from destruction.
Yeah, it's gonna be an uphill battle for Caleb Plant because the rounds can't even be close because then it's gonna swing
Yep.
to Canelo. So he's
Exactly.
literally climbing a mountain to beat Canelo. So that's what I'm saying. The safest bet is to say Canelo's gonna win. But if Caleb Plant pulls it off, and I think he has the ability to, like, he has a better chance than the recent guys that fought Canelo to do it. But if he pulls it off, is like that's a monumental feat because of everything that the mountain that he has to climb to pull it off.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Caleb, if you're watching, please do this for me because I've talked the whole storm. Now, listen, bro. I'll put you up on this pedestal. If you lose this fight, man, I'm telling you right now, I might have to delete some accounts. You know, I might have to delete my Twitter because I've been listening.
Backtracking.
Please.
No backtracking.
Win this fight, please. For me, Caleb, for me, win this fight. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But any overall thoughts, suggestions, comments, anything in general about anything? Nothing.
Do you know what?
Me,
I hope Errol pulls back. I hope Errol pulls through, man. Cause these injuries and that, they're career threatening, man.
Yep.
And I thought this guy wasn't going to come back after that crash as well. And then hearing about his eye, which is something he had a problem with after that accident, I believe, and Bob Arum kind of touched on it. Man, all the best to the guy. I hope, sometimes you see his interviews, like, I don't know, man, you hear him slur his words kind of thing. It's a bit worrying. So hopefully he does have a full recovery and bounce back and things like that, man.
Pressi, that's the Dallas in him. He talks like that.
I feel like he never used to slur his words like that, man.
It's like the only thing I'll say, like, his eyes are like droopy now, but like, yeah, he's always talk like that. So, but for me, no overall thoughts really. I love doing this one. Boxing Fanatico, thank you. Edward, my man, thank you for doing this. And yeah, I'm good. I'm cool.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, man. I just want to say,
uh,
everybody. I just want to thank everybody, man, especially Fanatico, man. It's been a pleasure. I've been following you for a minute now, seeing your videos. Very
Yeah.
articulate, very smart, man. And
Thank
I respect it. And everybody here, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Yeah, man. That's it, man. Round table. We lit here.
you know,
Same,
uh,
just gotta repeat that, man. Touch up on that as well. Absolute pleasure. Looking forward to the many more roundtables ahead. And as we get those in, we're all gonna hopefully grow together as content creators, as a roundtable group. And for the people watching, with every episode that goes ahead, hopefully you're gonna see something new, more polished up within all the episodes, and
Yeah.
a lot of new things to come down the line as well. We've already got things in the pipeline, so we're looking forward to showing you that as we proceed. Appreciate for watching.
y'all listen. I'm not gonna say I'm starstruck, but it's kind of a surreal feeling, you know. When I approached everybody with this, I did not expect to be sitting in the good graces of Mr. Boxing Fanatical. I didn't think, when people ask me, "How did you come up with this idea?" I tell them every time. It just came, like, it's just one of those things that just came to me, try not to, drop a tear. I said that earlier. I'm trying to, oh shit. No. Oh, hold on now. Hold on. All right, there we go. Listen, I'm gonna try not to drop a tear or nothing, but man, everybody here, bro, just the fact that y'all said F, not really necessarily F the sub comp, but necessarily said this dude is smaller than me, but I see like
Yeah.
this is a real cool idea. I see like this is just chill vibes for y'all to just like come on, especially Fanatico. Just because bro, Fanatico, I watch all your videos. I don't mean to sound like
Thank
one of
you.
those dudes, but I watch all your videos,
No, I appreciate it.
man. Listen, I'll just keep it in the bug, man. Listen, for him to just say, I love this idea. I want to be a part of it, bro. It honestly means a lot, bro. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this. And like Pressi said, bro, I just want all of us to grow, bro. I want everybody to eat, man. Like real talk, bro. I want everybody to eat. I really don't have much else to say. To be honest with you, I really think this was probably the most, in my opinion, this was probably the most informative,
Yeah.
the most informative one we've had, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this one. I enjoy all of them. But yeah, that's all I really have to say, man. I'm done. That's
And
all I gotta say.
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say my piece.
Yeah.
Thank you definitely for having me on. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I watched every single round table y'all ever had, and I thought it was awesome. I loved it. I could sit through the whole hour and a half, like just watching it because it's super. There's something interesting about just seeing a bunch of people that like something talk and exchange ideas about it. So when I saw the last one, I was like, yo, screw it. I'm gonna hit up Juice. I want to be in this round table, man. I want to be in this. So yeah, man, for sure. I jumped on the opportunity once Juice said yes. I was hype. I couldn't wait to be on here. But definitely, like the ideas, like Pressi's ideas for blocking, like that's when you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. You're not just thinking of the surface level stuff that a lot of people, when they're looking at this game, sometimes think about, like, oh, how do you, what if, how they're gonna look when they're moving around and all that. Like, there's more to think about, and when we bring up these conversations, we bring those things to light. So I'm happy that I'm here, and I'm glad that we had this conversation. I think that this roundtable was really, really informative.
Definitely. We appreciate you too, man.
Thank you, SDOT.
That's for sure, for sure. Listen, everybody done say they piece. Until next time, boys.
We have.
Jaymma.
Next, Joe.
So,
We out. Next, John. See y'all later, man.
Peace.
All right.